Hello, welcome. This is a twin flame reading. I'm going to go into start doing May readings now. I'm using the Angelic Love Relationship cards today. Thanks for liking the channel, subscribing, liking the video with the thumbs up sign. That helps. If you want to book in for a reading, you're very welcome. Just message me. I do put all my contact details below. And I do a pre-recorded voice note reading, which is a bit cheaper, if that helps. And you can also buy my deck as well. I should always have a copy of my deck on the table, really. That would be a good idea. So I'm drinking rose petal tea with a bit of peppermint and lemon today. I've just been making it up myself, like a bit of this, bit of that. Throw it all in. Okay, so I'll get the relationship spread out. Now, a lot of us are over the twin flame situation. A lot of us have had twin flames on this channel. Like, we're obviously like a soul family, and a lot of us, you know, and if you're new to the channel, you know, and you're resonating with it, brilliant. You know, you're part of the soul family because we're all on a similar sort of frequency and, you know, going through similar things. So yeah, basically a lot of us, sorry, I'm going to just have to plug this in. A lot of us have already done the twin flame experience, and we've kind of come out the other side of that one. But I'm still doing the twin flame reading because let's just see, you know, what messages come through. And I do always say with the twin flame as well that it can be about somebody who's emotionally avoidant. So it doesn't have to be your twin flame, but it just could be somebody else in your life who's very sort of like emotionally dead, if you know what I mean. Because we're the part of the twin flame that, you know, wants all of the love and all of that, and then, you know, maybe you could call the chaser, and then the other part of the twin flame who we're talking about in the reading would be your avoidant person, your runner. And so it doesn't have to be your twin flame relationship. It could be another situation where you're dealing with somebody who's very emotionally sort of avoidant or distant, whatever you call it. So let's see. And this is for May. Stability. Set a solid foundation. Rah. That's brilliant. So you are going to be setting a much more solid foundation for yourself in May. Anything that hasn't been of a solid foundation, and let's face it, most of the time the twin flame relationship or a relationship with anyone who is emotionally unstable is obviously not a stable foundation for a relationship. So May is all going to be about you finding your stability. Okay, let's go into the recent past. Okay, so you've had to act with, you know, take quick action through sort of April. You've had to use your skills. You've either had to take quick action, or it's more been a case of like you having to use your skills to defeat any of your sort of demons around relationships and love. So you might have had to, you know, really sort of view your relationship from a much more business-like approach in order to use the right skills in order to deal with it properly. You've also had spirit protecting you with the King of Cups. That is your spirit guide. Could also be someone with a masculine energy that's been helping you, but it's somebody that's there to protect you, so that's why it's often representing spirit. Spirit being around you, spirit encouraging you, you know, and it could be a loved one in spirit, but someone in spirit has been encouraging you to be more business-like and implement your skills in order to defeat the demons that, you know, that get raised in intimate relationships or family relationships or even friendships. you know, because our closest relationships really do trigger the deepest parts of us. They're there to help us sort of recognise our karmic patterns and then release them. And you've had to take a very business-like approach to this, because there's obviously been some sort of your own, not their demons, your demons that you've had to face, to confront, you know, and you've done well with that. You've done very well with that. So what's going on in May? You know, you might have had to say to somebody, you know, we need space, or I'm out of here, or you might have had to as well deal with your own demons and say, I'm not listening to my own ego, because I know it's trying to keep me stuck in an old relationship pattern, you know, and I'm not going to do it because I know it's not healthy. So you may have been making some changes in April, you know, right now. The last couple of months, you might have been making some changes. Yeah, so what's going on in May? Continuing to make safe choices for yourself, responsible choices, and they put you in a much more abundant and better energy. You're still thinking about, well, somebody's thinking about options. Perhaps somebody's thinking about whether they should contact you. Maybe sometimes your own mind's wondering about, oh, should I be considering doing this with my relationships? Should I be considering doing that? So you might be considering options in May. Okay, so the person that you think about, Eight of Wands, there's progress here. You might receive a message from them. I felt that with the Seven of Cups, because I felt like that could be them thinking about you. You know, that's them thinking, and that's you, you know, you in a much better position, because like I said, you've definitely, with this card, with these two cards, I know you've obviously had to face some of your own demons and say, right, I'm not going to keep chasing, or I'm not going to keep my heart open to somebody who's doing this to me, you know, because it's just like my inner child stuff, you know, it's my own demons that are making me very needy all the time. Or, you know, I've had to do that recently and just say, no, Kerry, you know, you've got to stand in your own power now, because and you've got to find the love within yourself, because basically, you know, otherwise what you're going to do, you're going to allow your own sort of demons, your own inner child, like, to keep you in that pattern for the rest of your life. No. We can't do it, you know. And your person here could be thinking about you and definitely contacting you in May. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, I just don't know if you will entertain anything from this person unless you see a significant change. You want this to be a new beginning, you know, that is a new beginning. You want a new beginning. You want that old chapter to be over. So, you know, are you really gonna go there? You know, I feel your person may be getting ready for a new start in May. Let's have a look. This person keeps getting drawn back to you. They've got the Ten of Pentacles. It's like a family soul. Do you know, they could even be in your soul family, which is very likely, by the way, because anyone's energy that we do resonate with on a deep level, even if we can get repelled by them at times, we probably are in the same soul family, probably on the same mission of clearing karma and, you know, having to break karmic cycles and things like that. It feels like they're in your soul family. It feels like they're attracted to you in May. I really wouldn't be surprised if they contact you, this person, or they send you a message. That it's weird. It's like they can't break away fully. I feel this card strongly for you. I feel like you are seriously trying to move forward here. You know, you've made some good choices through April and you're seriously trying to move forward. And then it's like, boom, their energy starts coming closer again. So how does this person feel? Ooh, the Star. They feel very confident. They feel very much in their alignment. I would say this person feels good. They do feel a spiritual link with you, with the Star. They're still not they don't have a very honest energy. And I know some of you might not like to hear that is still the case. But there is sort of like a lack of honesty or a plan that they've got, you know, and it's like, is it going to work? Is it really going to work this time? I honestly feel with that Ten of Swords and that Knight of Swords, and, you know, this Nine of Pentacles, I really feel like we are at a point where it's like, you know, we've kind of matured. We've kind of learned a lot about ourselves and our own tendencies to be a bit needy or whatever. And we've sort of been learning to cope with that better. And I feel if we sense anything out of alignment, it will be quite repelling. And we sort of will be thinking, oh, I don't like this. Because there's something about, I did feel that Star, like they're confident, and I think they're a bit too overly confident that they can carry on the way things were. I think they are in a slightly better alignment, but I think I still feel there's some energy that's not quite right in this person. Okay, again, I mean, how do they want to move forward? Seven of Wands. They do feel the challenges, but this person, you're dealing with someone here who's kind of overly confident. They do tend to think quite confidently that they can just figure out things, get their way around you, get things their own way. This person's got a lot of pain body. That could be because of an ex-partner or somebody from their past, like a parent. You know, and the thing is, they could kind of face the challenges with you in May in order to kind of see you, but then they could separate back off again because the Three of Swords represents separation and removal. You know, some of your people could be trying to face the challenges to deal with removing their pain body and their suffering. And they may, for some of you, your person could have had a history of being very dishonest. And next month they start to come into a better alignment and they do start to make progress. And they're worried about you walking away. I'm just giving another reading there, really, because I do feel there could be some people in this soul family, you've had involvement with somebody. You've had to be businesslike. And it's hard to turn away from somebody when you really like them because it can really bring up the inner child stuff and you know, it's frightening to let go and everything. But I think you've had to. I think you've had to make some business-like decisions with this person, and it has done you good. And by May, you're in a much more healthy, abundant position because of it. Even though you might still be wondering about what's going to happen. Your person is making progress here, but you're not convinced. That's what I feel. They think of you as soul family, like I said, and they probably are in your soul family, and they are attracted to you. They're feeling confident. They may be feeling more in alignment, and they may be feeling better, but there is still this energy that you're not 100% on it. You're not 100% trusting this person. And like I said, this could be two different things. This could be them basically coming back in because they're confident and they feel like they're in a good position to be able to come back, but then removing themselves again, because that can represent removal. Or if you don't like that idea and you don't resonate with it, the other possibility of these two cards, you know, that they are trying to face their challenges around removing their pain and their issues. Because this person's obviously had issues. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had to take the decisions you took. They've obviously had issues around dishonesty or something that wasn't in alignment. And maybe they weren't being real with you about it, or they were trying to hide it because they felt ashamed. So, I don't know. Some of these people could be making some progress here and trying to heal their problems in May. But some of them could play you, actually, and could actually draw you in close because they're so confident, and then they could just disappear again. Okay. So I know some of you won't want to hear that, but that's the two ways of reading those cards. Okay, what's hidden that you don't see is cooperation energy. This is, you've now got the skills to move forward with your life in a way that you always wanted to, and you didn't feel was possible. You knew what you needed to do, but you couldn't actually do it. But you can do it, and you are doing it in May, and that's really good for all of us. You know, Nine of Swords. There's some anxiety or stress, or tears about this, but well, I don't know what to say about that, really. I suppose it is mixed feelings because you're moving forward and making the progress you always wanted to make on a personal level, but on the other hand, you might be a bit sad about this connection at the moment. In May, I do think for some of you, your person will be making some improvements. You know, the beginnings of improvements. But I do feel for some of you, your person's going to be, you're still not going to have trust in this person, and it's a shame. It's a shame you can't have trust. What you might find is that you're moving forward with this person in May, but you're still worrying deep down. You're still triggered deep down, even though you're both maybe reconciling or you're both trying to progress this relationship. I feel there are still insecurities, and that kind of feeds through this whole reading. So what's the advice from Spirit? Okay, Page of Pentacles. This is interesting because this came up in the last reading I did, which was to do with mental health. This was about our mental health. Even in April, actually, it was for the April reading. This is for May. So it's a recurring message that the Spirit is trying to bring us. And it basically means you're going to be applying yourself to something that you really enjoy and that you feel really interested and passionate about, and it's going to be a real game changer for you. It's going to really help you to move forward, because you're really getting into something. For some of you, it could be a new partner. I'll say that as well. You could be moving on from this person who, you know, they might reach out in May, but some of you might have already sort of moved on. and there could be somebody else on the horizon that you're very passionate about. And this could be somebody who's much more committed, much more stable. Okay. On the other hand, you could just be really building a stable foundation for yourself and really getting into your groove. I know, sorry, that's a really old way of talking. My kids would kill me. But you know, you could be really stabilising in yourself in May. I think a lot of us will be, most of us on this channel will be finding ourselves feeling a lot more stable because you've had to move on. This Knight of Swords was all about you moving on from your old identity, you know, and you've had to face your demons and say, no, I'm not going to keep repeating that stuff. I'm going to stop being scared. I'm going to stop being needy. I'm going to learn to be independent. I'm going to learn to source my own love. I'm going to keep moving forward, you know, stand on my own 2 feet, you know, and I think that's what we've been doing on this channel really, really well. And we've been trying to make much better choices, even if our mind sometimes tries to get us to, I know mine does, you know, fantasize about, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? But no, when all said and done, we have been making better choices for ourselves. So, you know, May is sort of like a continuation of that, really. It's reaping the rewards of all those good decisions you've been making, finding yourself more stable, finding yourself more passionate and connected to things. It's like, you know, when you're going through that phase where all your demons and insecurities are coming up and you're in a bit of a toxic relationship and it's just a really unsettled time, it's really difficult because you just don't feel connected to anything. You know, I mean, I know for the last like 3 years, it was just like, I couldn't get into anything. I couldn't really get into films. I couldn't really get into TV. All my friends would be talking about TV programs. I'm not into any TV programs. All I could do was my spiritual work. It was the only interest I had, you know, and it's hard because your energy's all over the place. You haven't found your full alignment. You're trying to face all your demons, purge out your pain body, face up to what you need to release, so that you can find your true self. And so it's hard. It's a hard time to feel connected to anything. But this is confirmation that in May, we are starting to connect to ourselves and our passions and our interests and starting to feel more sort of stable. Some people, like I said, you could be meeting a new partner who is more stable, who does want commitment. And if that's you, congratulations. Okay. Right, the outcome card is a pause. There's a bit of a pause. Spirit is trying to waken you up and you're going to have a realisation. I suspect this realisation will help you move forward. So there will be a realisation for you in May. I feel for a lot of you, this could be a realisation that finally helps you move on from a toxic relationship, from somebody who's been emotionally avoidant. Okay, with the Queen of Swords and the Hangman card, it is just like realising, oh my God, you know, this is just not, it's not healthy. You know, I do think you're dealing, some of you might be dealing with more than one person, you know, and you might have one person who's kind of doing the healing work and you see some progress with them, but you're just not fully trusting them yet in May. There's still an element of like, you've got to prove yourself to me more, you know, and that could be what you're saying as the Queen of Swords. So you might not be separating from this person. You might not be ending anything, but you might be putting your foot down as the Queen of Swords and being very, very boundaried, because you have certain realizations in May and you'll be very direct, almost to the point of being bossy with this person and saying, you know, this is what I require, this is what I need in order for us to proceed, you know, so you could be going like that. But some of you may well wake up and just decide to walk away, because you found other passions, other interests, and you feel like you just cannot trust this person 100%, and you're just not happy to continue. So it's an interesting reading, really, because I definitely think you've pulled away, you've pulled back from something, and you know, your person's definitely been thinking about you. In May, they are definitely trying to progress things back towards you. You know, and you're not showing as much interest as you normally would. You are definitely more cautious. This person is definitely attracted to you, and they definitely feel connected to you, and they probably don't really know why they feel connected to you. But I do feel it's a soul family connection. The thing with this person, they can be a little bit too much in their ego and a bit too confident or cocky at times, and they underestimate the impact on you, probably. There's definitely some progress, you know, with this Three of Pentacles. I wouldn't worry at all about May. I honestly feel you've come on leaps and bounds, and whatever this person does in May, you're going to have a much better grip on it, and you're going to be much better able to communicate, and you're going to be much better able to make decisions about it. Previously, your head might have gone into a bit of a spin, and you know, you would have just probably been all over the place. But I feel, May, you're standing in your power, and you will put the boundaries down with this person one way or the other. You know, I think you'll be very clear, because you're not prepared to carry on getting anxious about this situation with this person. You know, you just want to see the progress. And if they're giving you this anxiety, I think you'll be very honest with them that you don't feel 100% with things. You know, the good thing is that we will be feeling very passionate and excited about other things in our lives. So that's helping as well. So that's the message. I'll stop there. It was quite interesting, because I was wondering what the hell was going to come out with this now, because obviously a lot of us have moved on from twin flame. But there again, like I've said before, after your twin flame, you can sometimes manifest quite a similar type of relationship. It's not the same as the twin flame, but it's a little bit similar in the sense that there's still some emotional issues within the person. It's very unusual, I find, to go from a twin flame relationship straight into a very emotionally secure relationship. I don't think I've met anyone that has actually done that. I think there's always, the next relationship is always with somebody who's still quite emotionally unpredictable or avoidant at times. So, you know, I just think in May you're going to be handling it so much better. You know, you're more confident, you're more stable in yourself. And don't forget, the first card was all about stability. So, you know, even if you're not 100% happy with this person in May, you're going to be happier in May, you know, and you're going to be excited about certain things you're interested in and certain things you're doing, which is nice as well. So that's the message. And if you want to book in, like I said, do contact me. If you want to buy my deck, do contact me. And peace.